We made it. It is the first show post-general election 2020. It is Wednesday, the 4th day of November. I am Dan Kuntz, and of course, we don't know at this point who won the presidency. We may not know for quite some time. Not a big surprise there. We have complete election results coming your way with a very busy newscast coming up. No real surprises, nothing really jumped out at you, but we're going to fill you in on everything you need to know on who won in the general election from a local perspective. We'll have that when we get to news. There is a lot of news to get to. As you can see, it's pretty foggy out there, pretty misty, pretty cloudy. Pretty raw day yesterday. We had the rain. We only got to 44 degrees. That was about 10 degrees cooler than what the National Weather Service was predicting. They say we're in for a nice day today, and then we're going to start seeing things get a little on the cool side coming up for the weekend. Forecast details coming up. Sports, the Pac-12 finally starts playing some football this weekend. In fact, if you're a fan of both the Huskies and the Cougars, and I am, you're going to have to do this on Saturday night because they play at the same time. One on ESPN and one on FS1. So put some fresh batteries in your remote and get ready for that. We also have everything else that you need to start your day. We'll have the Obscure Holiday today. The Obscure Holiday couldn't be more apropos. Plus some celebrity birthdays and today in history. And Mike McNaughty's got an opinion. 37 degrees, misty, cloudy, foggy. I don't know what we're going to be able to see today. Let's find out what we got with our cameras around the valley. Of course, we begin with the cross camera, but I don't think there's anything to see because it's right at the level of the clouds and the fog. What do we got there, Megan? Is that it? That's it. That's our... We don't have that camera pointed at a gray wall. No, that's the view. Currently from our cross camera, it's right at that level of the clouds and the fog. It is supposed to burn off, though. It is supposed to burn off to bring us a fairly mild day before temperatures begin to sink down to below average by the time we get to the weekend. I don't know what we're going to be able to see. Let's find out. Let's see. Okay, well, that ain't bad. Is that Badger? So that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. That's that layer of clouds and fog. And of course, Badger Mountain is high up above that, so it can see quite a ways, all the way to the Cascades, of course. But down there is the Wenatchee Valley. But that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. Look at those clouds laying out. But it is supposed to burn off. We don't have any rain in the forecast today. It's looking fine. We're just going to have to pack a little patience and let the sun get the job done. It'll burn off the clouds and the fog. We'll have bountiful sunshine for the most part today. Camera number 3. Let's see where we're off to. That is really neat. I don't know what it is. That's the Heights camera. That's the other Heights camera, right? So that's the Wenatchee. We call that the Wenatchee Heights East camera. It's about 700 yards to the east of our cross camera, and it's on a lower elevation. And it's pointed, I think, towards the Stimmel Basin. That's about the only way I can figure that out. That's kind of cool looking. Looks almost like a painting. But that's indicative of what we can see with our cameras. They have to be high for them to work. Camera number 4. Now that's cool. Let me look. Let me think. Let me chew on what I'm seeing here. I don't know why I'm trying to... I don't know. What are we looking at? Oh, so that's Jump Off Ridge. That's cool. That's a really neat view. Well, way down there is the Wenatchee Valley. You can almost make out Badger Mountain on the far right. The Stimmel Basin is down below. And again, there's that layer of clouds and fog right at the level of our cross camera, which will be, well, quite frankly, unusable for a while until it burns off. But again, it is supposed to burn off later on today. Unlike yesterday, again, it was National Weather Service. They're allowed to do that every once in a while. It just happened. We only got to 44 degrees with the rain yesterday, but they say we're looking pretty good today. From Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they give your home a hug. Here is your forecast. Again, we'll be right around 63, 64 degrees under partly cloudy skies. That's not bad. We'll take that. If, again, the sun's going to have to burn off the clouds and the fog that is existing right now. We're at 37 degrees. This gives you an idea. It is 50 degrees at the summit of Blewett Pass. So there is a 13-degree difference between the valley floor, and you go up to about 4,000 feet where the sun can get the job done, and it's considerably warmer up there. 48 for the overnight low tonight. Tomorrow we start talking maybe a little bit of rain. Again, certainly Thursday morning we could see some rain. Some of it's going to be overnight tonight while you're sleeping. It spills into Thursday morning until about 9:30 or about 10 in the morning. Then we should be done with the rain. Quite a bit of cloud cover, high of 61 degrees. A little breezy at times on Thursday. Not big wind, but just a couple of times you'll notice the wind picking up in intensity. 41 for the overnight low on Thursday night. Slight chance of some light rain there. Partly cloudy on Friday, high of about 54. Again, a little bit of light rain is possible. And here comes the cool temperatures. Look at the overnight low on Friday night, 35 degrees, because we're going to have fairly clear skies. Saturday, lots of sunshine, but we'll be lucky to get to 50. Overnight lows will be dipping down below freezing now on Saturday night and Sunday night and Monday as the cool air comes down from Canada. The snow level, by the way, I should point this out, on tomorrow night, snow level is going to be about 2,000 feet, but now they're saying probably not a lot of snow in the Cascades. They're backing off that a little bit. Then the snow level on Monday night is going to go down right here to the valley floor. It'll be around 900 feet above sea level on Monday night, but again, there's very little chance of precipitation, so it's, that's what we're looking at. It's going to get cold, too. Friendly reminder, we're into November. Okay, it is 6 minutes after the hour. We have a whole slew of election results coming your way when we come back. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
It became painfully clear that it was time for a new hot water heater. So found there are two different kinds of water heaters on the market today. There's the old kind, and now they have a new one. It's a heat pump water heater. It's considerably more energy efficient, but it costs a lot more. That's when we discovered that the Chelan County PUD was giving $800 rebates for the heat pump water heater. Now, they're basically the same cost. It only took me a couple of minutes to fill it out, and about 6 weeks later, I got a check back. Pretty cool.
In a world of uncertainty, public transit remains a safe and effective way to travel. Throughout the day, Link staff members clean and sanitize buses between routes. In addition, all our drivers and staff members are wearing masks, and we ask that all riders do too. While riding Link Transit, we ask that you observe social distancing guidelines whenever possible. Ride smart, stay safe, and be healthy. Link Transit, caring for our communities.
As you can tell from our cross camera, we got a layer of clouds and fog hanging over the Wenatchee Valley. Kind of misty too, 37 degrees, but we're looking for some sunshine for the most part this afternoon. Highs will be in the lower 60s, a little bit of rain, intermittent rain off and on until we get to the weekend. Then we're going to have quite a bit of sunshine, but it's going to be cool for the first weekend in November. And at 8 minutes after the hour, let's talk elections. And we'll start out with the race for the Congressional 8th District with U.S. Representative Dr. Kim Schreier appearing to be on her way to re-election in the 8th Congressional District, thanks mostly to King County voters. Schreier, of course, is a Democrat. As you see there, 183,527 votes for her. Republican challenger Jesse Jensen, 158,729 after Tuesday night's count. That gives her a 54% lead to Jensen's 46%. Of these 6 counties in the 8th District, Schreier was leading only in King County, but she was leading big, 61% to 39% there. Jensen leading with 52% of the vote in Chelan County, 59% in Douglas County, 57% in Pierce County, and 53% in Kittitas County. Republican State Representative Keith Gaynor appears on his way to victory over Democratic challenger Adrienne Moore in the 12th District race. Gaynor seeking his second term in the state legislature. Of course, he served as a Chelan County commissioner for a number of years. Gaynor defeating Moore, 34,445 votes. Adrienne Moore has 23,277 votes after Tuesday evening's tally. Gaynor has won almost 60% of the vote. Adrienne Moore, 40% of the vote. Gaynor winning big in Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties. Moore is winning big in Okanagan County. That's where she's from. It was the only contested race, of course, in the 12th District. Senator Brad Hawkins and Representative Mike Steele ran unopposed. Tiffany Gehring holds a slim lead over Dale England in the race for Chelan County Commissioner District 3 after Tuesday's count. Gehring has 14,235 votes, and Dale England 13,301 votes. That adds up to 51.7% of the vote for Gehring, 48.3% for England. Now, back in the August primary, England got 42.8% of the vote to 28% for Gehring, who edged out Brant Capell for the right to face England in the general election. By the way, in Chelan County, there are still 10,000 uncounted ballots, and we won't have those results until Friday afternoon. To Grant County we go. Voters are approving a 4-year renewal of the Eastmont School District's operating levy. Results released by the Douglas County Auditor say, well, there you go, 8,091 votes in favor, 5,950 votes opposed. Now, the levy requires a simple majority to be approved, and right now with a 57.62 approval rate, it's on its way to passing. There are about 2,000 uncounted ballots yet to be tabulated in Douglas County. Chelan County Health District reporting yesterday afternoon, we have 3 additional deaths now from COVID-19 in our area. That brings the total number of deaths in Chelan County to 21, 7 in Douglas County. All the deaths that were reported yesterday were Chelan County residents. 2 females, one in their 70s and one in their 80s, and 1 male in his 80s. So the total COVID-19 deaths for the Chelan Douglas Health District now stands at 28. A man was shot in the upper torso, and 4 men were arrested in a gang-related shooting Monday afternoon in Moses Lake. Sergeant Kyle McCain of the Moses Lake Police Department said the man who was shot refused treatment at Samaritan Hospital, though the bullet apparently just missed his lung. McCain said 2 groups had met up at McCosh Park at about 3:30 in the afternoon to have a physical fight when one person fired twice at the other group. The groups then ran in opposite directions, but one group went down an alleyway that brought them into the path of the other group near Lakeside Drive and A Street. About 7 more gunshots were fired, one of which hit the man. McCain said police were able to quickly locate and arrest 4 suspects who were members of a well-known gang in the Moses Lake area. All 4 faced charges of first-degree assault, and 2 faced charges of unlawful possession of a firearm. McCain said the man who was shot was not a gang member, but was apparently in a relationship with a woman from a gang. The Grant County Sheriff's Office releasing details on Monday of that gunpoint carjacking that happened last week in Moses Lake. It ended with the arrest of 2 men. The carjacking victim said 2 men in a red Dodge Charger approached him about 7:20 last Wednesday morning in the 12,000 block of Road 6 Northwest, and as the driver pointed a gun at him, the other man drove away in his 2002 Honda. Numerous law enforcement officers searched the area, and then they spotted the stolen Honda on North Frontage Road near Road E Northeast. As Moses Lake Police and Washington State Patrol troopers pursued for several miles, the fleeing car forced several other vehicles off the road. The Honda eventually collided with a Grant County deputy's SUV. This was near Roads 3 and E Northeast in May Valley. Arrested 35-year-old Martin Juarez. Meanwhile, police said they found the Charger. It was partially hidden at a home on Dusty Street in Moses Lake, and they arrested 41-year-old Eliza Ramos. Juarez faces charges of first-degree robbery, attempting to elude police, resisting arrest, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. He is also wanted on a felony warrant or 2. Ramos faces a first-degree robbery charge. About 30 law enforcement officers were involved in the pursuit and the search. No injuries to either the officers nor the suspects. A man was accidentally shot in the upper leg by a friend who was showing him his gun. This happened Tuesday morning at the Motor Mart in South Wenatchee. Captain Edgar Reinfeld of the Wenatchee Police Department said the shooting is a reminder of caution when you're handling a firearm.
So shortly after 9:40 this morning, Rivercom took a 911 call of a person who had been shot in the leg on an accidental discharge in the 100 block of Mars Street in Wenatchee at a business. Officers were immediately dispatched along with aid, and as so often is the case, because we're already out in the car, officers arrived first. They found a male victim with a thigh wound from a single gunshot from a pistol. He was being provided with some treatment at that point. Officers stepped up that level of treatment and applied a tourniquet. We all carry tourniquets on our person in uniform for this sort of thing. They're extremely effective, easy to carry, and easy to use. Aid arrived and got the patient stabilized and transported them to the hospital for further treatment. Does not appear to be a life-threatening wound. We've already interviewed the owner of the firearm who was showing it to his friend, and was going to disassemble it, and in that process negligently or accidentally fired a single shot. This is a really painful reminder and a really direct reminder that the 4 universal rules of firearms safety always apply. Treat all firearms as if they're always loaded. Always keep them pointed in a safe direction. Keep the finger off the trigger for anything you're not willing to destroy, and always know your target and what's beyond. And in this case, kind of missed some of those, and it led to a serious injury, an accident, but thankfully not a fatality.
Hundreds of the Wenatchee School District's youngest students returned to classrooms Monday for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic closed schools last spring. The Wenatchee School District was out at elementary schools documenting what returning to school looks like in this time of COVID-19.
How come?
Because I got everything I wanted to do at school.
Nice. Bye.
That's cool. That's cool. And it's also a friendly reminder for you motorists out there, since kids are back in school, the school speed zone limits are being enforced again. Flashing lights in a school zone means the speed limit is 20 miles an hour. Now, the fine for speeding in a school zone starts at $126, and it goes up from there depending on how fast you are going. So remember that. An online-only auction of surplus equipment and vehicles will be held next week. Everything from semis and semi-trailers, tractors, trucks, all up for bid. Many of the items at the November 12th auction are surplus from local agencies, including the Chelan County PUD. The auction being held by Yarborough Auctioneers of Moses Lake. The bidding begins at 9 a.m. Again, on November 12th, PUD equipment specialist Michael Schrader said such online auctions are attracting bidders from throughout the country. The catalog of items for sale is available on the yarborough.com website, and pre-auction in-person viewing will be held all next week from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Yarborough facility, again in Moses Lake. Couple of more notes on the election. As I mentioned before, in Chelan County, there's still about 10,000 ballots that have yet to be counted, and those ballots, the result of those ballots, will not be released until Friday afternoon. So we're going to keep a very close eye on the Chelan County Commissioner race between Tiffany Gehring and Dale England. Tiffany Gehring leads by 934 votes over Dale England. And again, in Chelan County, there are still about 10,000 ballots left to be counted, so that one is still very much up in the air. In the 12th district, it looks like Keith Gaynor is going to roll to an easy victory there because he has an 11,000 vote lead with still some outstanding ballots, but that lead is insurmountable. For the Congressional District 8, Dr. Kim Schreier leads Jesse Jensen by 24,798 votes. As we mentioned before, her strongest area is in King County, where she has 61% of the vote there, and King County still has numerous ballots yet to be counted. So Kim Schreier looks like she will be returning to our nation's capital. Other statewide offices, no real surprise. Governor Jay Inslee rolls to an easy victory over Lauren Culp, 59% to 40%. In fact, of all the incumbent statewide officers, only one is losing, and that's Dwayne Davidson. He's the incumbent state treasurer. He is currently trailing his opponent on this Wednesday morning, and the only open seat was for lieutenant governor, and Denny Heck is going to win that one fairly handily. And we're keeping a close eye on the Secretary of State's race as well, with Kim Wyman leading her opponent, her Democratic opponent, but not enough to call that one. And this is one more fascinating, I think this is fascinating anyway. In Chelan County, the presidential vote is this: Donald Trump 51.25%, Joe Biden 46.66%. Remarkably close in conservative Chelan County on the presidential race. And again, in Chelan County, there are still about 10,000 ballots that are yet to be counted. Those results will be released on Friday. In Douglas County, there's only about 2,000 votes left to be counted. And it looks like the auditors of the respective counties, Skip Moore in Chelan County and Thad Duvall in Douglas County, they were predicting close to a 90% turnout. And then it looks like we're going to have about a 90% turnout in Chelan and Douglas counties. 21 minutes after the hour, we're going to have more election results tonight and reaction with a preview of tonight's news. Here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, unseasonably warm weather is expected today, and then more of the wet stuff and cooler. I'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will have all the latest from Seahawks camp as they prepare to take on the Bills this weekend. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. I appreciate it. Appreciate your efforts and everybody else that puts together the newscast. Take a look at the bottom of your screen. That's how you can get a hold of us. You can get a hold of us via our Facebook page. Just use the Messenger app, click on it, type it out, and send it to us. We'll get it. You can email us directly. It's not a bad idea. news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com, or if you go to our website, ncwlife.com, you'll see the Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. If you click on that, you got two options. You can either just drop us a note, or you can submit a news tip directly to the news team. Going to take a break. When we come back, we finally get to talk about Pac-12 football. Yay! Yeah, can't wait for that on Saturday night. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center brings you Vibrant Motion, a new hour-long exercise program featuring local instructors Connie Townsend and Pat Robbins. Each week, we'll bring you a new episode with aerobics or Tai Chi. We promise you'll get a heart-pumping, low-impact workout regardless of your age. Join us for Vibrant Motion, weekdays on the NCW Life channel. Check your program guide for airtimes.
We are back at 24 minutes after the hour. As you can see behind me, the clouds and the fog beginning to burn off a little bit. We'll have partly cloudy skies, very mild temperatures today, a little on the breezy side. Wednesday, Thursday, a little rain at times as well. Lots of sunshine, but cool coming up for the weekend. Let's talk about sports. And hey, Pac-12 football finally gets underway after the COVID-shortened season. And we get going on Saturday night. University of Washington travels to Berkeley to take on Cal. The new head coach of the Huskies, Jimmy Lake, says the Huskies are coming off a spirited training camp.
You know, training camp was a success. We really enjoyed the format that we put together. We wanted to get these guys prepared for a season, and I feel like our guys have felt like they've already played probably 2 to 3 games. It was a physical training camp. Our guys got some bumps and bruises, but that's okay. We want to feel that way going into a game. no matter what the year is, but especially right now in 2020. I think the Pac-12 did a really good job of making it able for us to ramp up for 2 weeks and then have a true training camp. The Dogs are ready to go.
Huskies have been rotating the quarterback position. Jacob Searman, Kevin Thompson, Dylan Morris, Ethan Garbers are all taking time behind center. So who's going to start on Saturday night in Berkeley? Well, Coach Lake ain't saying.
Or, it really doesn't do us, it doesn't help us to announce anything like that going into a game. I know from a defensive perspective, had we know who the starting quarterback is, then we could plan for that guy. And so, this is, I really want to talk to our fans here because I know our fans are excited, and believe me, we're all excited. And we can't wait to go out and run out there on Saturday night and play really hard for you guys. But what we're never going to do here is release information that hurts us. And, by us releasing that type of information only hurts us. It doesn't help us. We'll all know here soon enough. And we can't wait to go play really hard for you guys on Saturday night.
Huskies and the Golden Bears, Saturday night in Berkeley. The game broadcast on ESPN. The Cougars, they also get their 2020 season kicked off Saturday night. They're going to be on the road. They'll be in Corvallis to take on the Oregon State Beavers. After playing cat and mouse with the media in his press conference this week, new head coach Nick Rolovich begrudgingly announcing that Jaden DeLora will be a starting quarterback on Saturday night.
All right. Jaden's going to take the first snap for us at Oregon State. Is that okay for you guys? Got it? Confirmed? No, you don't get any more questions. Till the sources come out. Let's go back to Jessica. She wanted to know something about that, didn't she?
Why, thanks. Yes, I did. What have you seen from the young quarterback taking the first snaps for you?
Came in, obviously, with a history in the offensive, in the family of the offense. I think there was some stuff he still had to learn. But he came in, everyone was going to be the first-time starter, right? But he came in from the summer and, just really put in the work. I thought he was productive and consistent. It was going to give us the best chance to move the ball this Saturday.
DeLora is a true freshman. He's out of Hawaii, of course, the new head football coach of Washington State University. Mr. Rolovich also comes from Hawaii. He coached the Rainbow Warriors for 8 seasons before he came to Pullman. Cougars and Beavers kick off Saturday night, also at 7:30, that game on FS1. We're going to have an exciting rebroadcast on Friday night of last year's Bridge of Sportsmanship game between the Panthers and the Wildcats. On the line was the Big 9 regular season championship, a berth to the state 4A tournament. Eric Grandstrom and Grant Olson had the call right here on the NCW Life channel.
Sermon again, hands to Blauman, counterplay inside, picking his way back to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown for Nate Blauman from 18 yards out, and Wenatchee retakes the lead.
How about that? Beautiful blocking on the left side, but that was Nate Blauman and his vision. The play was supposed to go right side. He saw that open to the left, cut it back that side, didn't get touched. 18 yards, touchdown Panthers.
3 receivers wide to the right. They are at the 3-yard line for the 2-point conversion. Sermon pumping, throwing, found Blauman into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It's a 3-point Wenatchee lead over Eastmont. Now standing at his own goal line. Here comes the punt. And a line drive kick and returnable by McElwain.
Look out.
35-30, far sideline, and driven out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 4 years ago, it was an Eastmont 5-point win. 3 years ago, an Eastmont 3-point loss. 2 years ago, a 2-point win in overtime. Last year, a 1-point win. Can Eastmont pull it off here again? 4th down coming up. 9, low snap to Everhart. Throws down, looking for the end zone, looking for McElwain. Got it! Touchdown Eastmont! Touchdown Eastmont!
No flags down, 24 yards. Wildcats take the lead.
If you can't remember, we're not going to tell you who won. You're going to have to tune in Friday night at 6:30 right here on the NCW Live channel. Finally, a couple of Mariners honored for their defensive skills. They handed out gold gloves. Yesterday, Seattle first baseman Evan White and shortstop J.P. Crawford were awarded gold gloves for their defensive work. at their respective positions. They're the first Mariners to win a Gold Glove since Kyle Seager won a Gold Glove at third base 6 years ago. And those were just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday. It's the bottom of the hour. The obscure holiday couldn't be more better on this day after the general election day, because we still don't know who was elected president. We may not know for a while. It was a stressful day yesterday, and today is National Stress Awareness Day, which is always the first Wednesday in November. Nobody can avoid stress altogether. I'm a pretty laid-back kind of guy. Stress kind of leaves me alone. But if you don't deal with stress, and again, everybody has to deal with stress at one time or another, it can take a serious toll, not only mentally, but physically on you. There's no question about it. I've talked to the experts. More people are stressed now than ever before. So you got to figure out, first of all, you got to recognize that you're under stress, that you got some stressful situations going on. Then you got to figure out how to tackle it. And you need to tackle it. Stress can cause all kinds of digestive issues. If you don't take care of your stress, you could lead to some pretty serious depression. Most forms of insomnia, not all, but most forms of insomnia are stress-related. By the way, the kidneys release adrenaline when you're under stress. Did not know that. Of course, if you have excessive stress, you have a tendency to gain a lot of weight. Also, poor nutrition. If you have a bad diet, that can lead to stress or make your stress levels even worse. And of course, it takes a toll on your mental health and your physical health. So take care of yourself in these stressful times on Stress Awareness Day today. When I feel stressed, I throw on something on television that is just so stupidly funny that it just makes me forget about all that stuff. It's 32 minutes after the hour. Yes, Megan, I heard that. Let's do some elections. The election of 1924 was held on this date in 1924, 96 years ago today. Incumbent Republican Calvin Coolidge defeated Democratic nominee John W. Davis and progressive candidate Robert La Follette to win the presidency in his own right. Of course, he inherited the presidency when Warren G. Harding mysteriously died in San Francisco. La Follette won Wisconsin and his 13 electoral votes. That's the most recent election when a third-party candidate won a state that was not in the Deep South. The electoral vote was not very close. Calvin Coolidge, 382. Davis, 136. As we mentioned before, Robert La Follette got 13 electoral votes. In Washington State, in fact, La Follette won 5 counties. Calvin Coolidge won 34. The Democratic nominee, John Davis, didn't win any counties in Washington State. Coolidge easily took Chelan County. But check this out. Calvin Coolidge won Douglas County in the 1924 general election over Robert La Follette by 17 votes. That's it. That was pretty close. Silent Cal stays in the White House. The 60th anniversary of the 1952 election, November 4th, 1952, Republican Dwight David Eisenhower wins a landslide victory over Democrat Adlai Stevenson. He's elected the 34th president of the United States. Again, the electoral vote wasn't very close. Ike, 442 for Adlai Stevenson, just 89, and Ike easily won Chelan and Douglas counties. In Chelan County, it was 62 to 38% Eisenhower, and in Douglas County, it was 55 to 44%. Eisenhower, Ike gets the gig on this date 68 years ago today. This is the 40th anniversary of the Ronald Reagan landslide. Wow, it's hard to believe it's been 40 years since the 1980 general election. Republican nominee Ronald Reagan defeated the incumbent Democrat Jimmy Carter in a landslide victory. He is elected the 40th president of the United States. It was only the second time ever, and for the first time in a century, that a Republican candidate defeated an incumbent Democrat. The electoral vote wasn't very close, 489 for Reagan, 49 for Carter. In Chelan County, it was Reagan all the way, 57 to 33%. John Anderson, the independent, you remember him? He got 8% of the vote in Chelan County. He got 6% of the vote in Douglas County, but Reagan had no real problems here in north central Washington. 12 years ago, November 4th, 2008, history is made. Democratic nominee Senator Barack Obama of Illinois defeats Republican nominee Senator John McCain of Arizona, and Barack Obama is elected the 44th president of the United States. Obama's total vote count, 69.5 million votes, still stands today as the largest tally ever won by a presidential candidate. The electoral vote, not very close, 365 for Obama, 173 for McCain. In Chelan County, McCain won easily, 55 to 45%, and in Douglas County, McCain won 60 to 39%. We'll do more elections in history come tomorrow. Let's do some birthdays. He was known as the most trusted man in America. He was born 104 years ago today. Walter Cronkite, the anchor of the CBS Evening News from 1962 to 1981, died in 2009 at the age of 92. His autobiography is a must-read. You really need to read it. It's fantastic, really good stuff. Walter Cronkite loved sailing. He loved the open sea, and when he got rich and famous, he bought himself a sailboat. And he had it docked in Long Island and would take it out all the time. He named his sailboat, his yacht, it was a yacht, I was kidding who. He named it The Assignment. And that way, whenever Walter Cronkite decided to take the day off, his replacement anchor would say, "I'm filling in for Walter Cronkite, who's on assignment." It was their little inside joke at CBS. Walter Cronkite, born in the state of 1916. Art Carney, born 102 years ago today, always known as Ed Norton, Ralph Crandon's upstairs neighbor in The Honeymooners. He was nominated for 7 Emmy Awards for playing Ed Norton, and he won 6 of them. That's pretty good. He also won an Academy Award. In 1974, the legendary comedian Art Carney died in 2003 at the age of 85. Happy birthday to the 45th First Lady of the United States, Laura Bush, 74 years old today. A teacher and a librarian by profession. Now she hangs around with George W. down there in Houston. She's 74 years old today. Matthew McConaughey, who, by the way, just wrote a book, and I've read the reviews, and a lot of people say it's a really, really good book. Matthew McConaughey, the American actor, producer, is 51 years old today. All right, going to take a break. When we come back, we got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. You're watching Wake Up on Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tamer.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
There are so many possibilities for you to learn local right here at Wenatchee Valley College. Take classes towards a degree or certificate in more than 50 areas of study. Wenatchee Valley College now offers a large variety of virtual classes, including labs, sign language, music, and machining, and they have the resources to help you succeed in virtual classes. So when a college degree is your goal, learn local at Wenatchee Valley College.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion.
Listen to me!
Now, how do you feel about the fact that social media has basically replaced due process as described in the Constitution? Now, why bother with facts and evidence? Why should we take the time to allow for a trial and let a defendant face their accuser?
You're a moron.
What's the point of making sure a defense attorney has the opportunity to question witnesses and offer exculpating testimony? I mean, can't we just watch 30 seconds of a Facebook video recorded by some random person's cell phone? I mean, why bother with the Constitution? This is Mike Mad Dog McNally.
I want you to stop getting hysterical over nothing.
And that's my opinion.
Businesses and individuals have trusted the experienced professionals at Financial Alternatives for their retirement and investment needs for 40 years. They offer a broad range of investments, annuities, and insurance solutions for people and businesses throughout Washington. Financial Alternatives will assist you in making informed decisions for your future. Call Financial Alternatives today and meet with their advisors.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. Looking for great food that's also an experience? Come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. Open year-round and named one of the top 4 restaurants in the state worth the drive for breakfast by the Seattle Times. Serving down-home scratch country cooking with huge portions at family-friendly prices. Great food and a fun experience for the whole family, and definitely worth the drive. For more information, check our website at wildaboutberries.com.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent at Springwater Insurance Group. And for next year's plans, there's some really special ones coming out. One in particular has no premium to it. 0 premium. That's pretty neat, especially if you're a veteran who has TRICARE or VA or CHAMPS VA, because you can utilize 2 plans at the same time. If you have questions about this and like more information, give us a call at 888-2600.
We are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley at 43 minutes after the hour. I am Dan Kuntz. Things are looking a lot clearer than they were at the start of this program 43 minutes ago, because you couldn't see anything behind my left-hand shoulder, and the sun will start getting the job done, burning off the clouds and the fog. We'll have highs in the lower 60s today after a pretty cool and raw Election Day Tuesday. We only got to 44 degrees. We'll give you the complete weather details one more time before we call it a show here on this Wednesday morning. But first, back to election results, Decision 2020. We'll begin with the race for the 8th Congressional District to the United States Congress. And U.S. Representative Dr. Kim Schreier appears to be on her way to re-election to her 8th Congressional District race, thanks mostly to King County voters. Schreier is a Democrat. She has 183,527 votes. Republican challenger Jesse Jensen, 158,729. After last night's count, that gives her a 54% of the vote. Jensen has 46% of the vote. Of the 6 counties in the 8th District, Schreier was leading only in King County, but she was leading big there, 61% to 39%. Jensen was leading with 52% of the vote in Chelan County, 59% in Douglas County, 57% in Pierce County, and 53% in Kittitas County. Republican State Representative Keith Gaynor appears to be on his way to a fairly easy victory over Democratic challenger Adrian Moore. In the 12th district race, Gaynor is seeking his second term in the state legislature after serving as a Chelan County commissioner. Gaynor defeating Moore 34,445 votes to 23,277 votes after Tuesday evening's tally. Gaynor has won almost 60% of the vote. Moore has 40% of the vote. Gaynor winning big in Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties. Moore is winning big in her home county, Okanagan County. It was the only contested race, by the way, in the 12th district. Of course, Senator Brad Hawkins and Representative Mike Steele were running unopposed. Tiffany Gehring holds a slim lead over Dale England in the race for Chelan County Commissioner District 3 after last night's count. Gehring has 14,235 votes. Dale England, 13,301 vote. That adds up to 51.7% of the vote for Gehring, 48.3% for England. Now back in the August primary, England had received 42.8% of the vote to 28% for Gehring, who edged out Brent Capel for the right to face England in the general election. A friendly reminder, there is still about 10,000 uncounted ballots in Chelan County, and those numbers will be released on Friday afternoon. Voters are approving a new 4-year renewal of the Eastmont School District's operating levy. Results released by the Douglas County Auditor last night show that the levy is passing with 8,091 votes yes, 5,950 votes opposed. The levy requires a simple majority to be approved, and the first results show, of course, it's passing 57.62%. The Chelan Douglas Health District reported yesterday afternoon 3 more deaths in our area from COVID-19, and that brings the total number of deaths in Chelan County to 21 and 7 confirmed deaths in Douglas County. All the deaths were Chelan County residents, 2 females, one in their 70s, one in their 80s, and 1 male in his 80s. The health district's total now is up to 28 deaths from COVID-19. A man was shot in the upper torso, and 4 men were arrested in a gang-related shooting. This happened Monday afternoon in Moses Lake. Sergeant Kyle McCain of the Moses Lake Police Department said the man who was shot refused treatment at Samaritan Hospital, although the bullet apparently just missed his lung. McCain said 2 groups had met up at McCosh Park about 3:30 in the afternoon to have a physical fight when one person fired twice at the other group. The groups then ran in opposite directions, but one group went down an alleyway that brought them into the path of the other group near Lakeside Drive and A Street. About 7 more gunshots were fired, one of which hit the man. McCain said police were able to quickly locate and arrest 4 suspects who were members of a well-known gang in the Moses Lake area. All 4 face charges of first-degree assault, and 2 face an additional charge of unlawful possession of a firearm. McCain said the man who was shot was not a gang member, but it is in a relationship with a woman from a gang. More news out of Grant County. The Grant County Sheriff's Office releasing now the details of that gunpoint carjacking that happened last week in Moses Lake. It ended with the arrest of 2 men. The carjacking victim said 2 men in a red Dodge Charger approached him about 7:20 last Wednesday morning in the 12,000 block of Road 6 Northwest, and as the driver pointed a gun at him, the other man drove away in his 2002 Honda. Numerous law enforcement officers searched the area before spotting the stolen Honda on North Frontage Road near Road E Northeast. As Moses Lake Police and Washington State Patrol troopers pursued for several miles, the fleeing car forced several other vehicles off the road. The Honda eventually collided with a Grant County deputy's SUV near Roads 3 and E Northeast. This is in May Valley. Arrested 35-year-old Martin Juarez. Meanwhile, police said they found the Charger partially hidden at a home on Dusty Street in Moses Lake and arrested 41-year-old Eliza Ramos. Juarez faces charges of first-degree robbery, attempting to elude police, resisting arrest, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. He also was wanted on felony warrants. Ramos faces a first-degree robbery charge. About 30 law enforcement officers were involved in the pursuit and the search. No injuries to either the officers or the suspects. And a man was accidentally shot in the upper leg by a friend who was showing him his gun. This happened yesterday morning at the Motor Mart in South Wenatchee. Captain Edgar Reinfeld of the Wenatchee Police Department said the shooting is a reminder you got to use caution when you're handling firearms.
So shortly after 9:40 this morning, Rivercom took a 911 call of a person who had been shot in the leg on an accidental discharge in the 100 block of Mars Street in Wenatchee at a business. Officers were immediately dispatched along with aid, and as so often is the case, because we're already out in the car, officers arrived first. They found a male victim with a thigh wound from a single gunshot from a pistol. He was being provided with some treatment at that point. Officers stepped up that level of treatment and applied a tourniquet. We all carry tourniquets on our person in uniform for this sort of thing. They're extremely effective, easy to carry, and easy to use. Aid arrived and got the patient stabilized and transported them to the hospital for further treatment. Does not appear to be a life-threatening wound. We've already interviewed the owner of the firearm who was showing it to his friend and was going to disassemble it, and in that process negligently or accidentally fired a single shot. This is a really painful reminder and a really direct reminder that the 4 universal rules of firearms safety always apply. Treat all firearms as if they're always loaded. Always keep them pointed in a safe direction. Keep the finger off the trigger for anything you're not willing to destroy, and always know your target and what's beyond. And in this case, kind of missed some of those, and it led to a serious injury, an accident, but thankfully not a fatality.
Thankfully not a fatality indeed. One more note about the elections that were held yesterday. Once again, we can't stress this enough, in Chelan County there are still about 10,000 ballots yet to be counted, and those ballots, those numbers will be released by the auditor's office on Friday afternoon. So obviously the one close race that's still out there that is really undecided at this point from a numerical standpoint is the Chelan County Commissioner race for District Number 3 between Tiffany Gehring and Dale England. Tiffany Gehring leads this morning by 934 votes, and again with about 10,000 ballots yet to be counted, although she has about 1,000 vote lead. That race is still yet to be decided. Kim Schreier, of course, leads Jesse Jensen, as you know by now, by 24,798 votes for the 8th Congressional District to our nation's capital. Even though she was only leading in King County, she leads King County with 61% of the vote to 39% of the vote in King County for Jesse Jensen. And King County does have many, many uncounted ballots that have yet to be tabulated, so that 25,000 or so vote lead by Kim Schreier looks pretty safe at this point, since the vast majority of uncounted ballots are in King County, where Kim Schreier has a sizable lead there. Keith Gaynor, it looks like he's going to roll to an easy re-election to the 12th district. He has a little over an 11,000 vote lead over his Democratic challenger, Adrian Moore, and so it doesn't look like Adrian Moore is going to be able to make up lost ground on that. The Eastmont School District Educational Programs and Operations Levy easily passing. Again, that was a levy, not a bond, so a simple majority was all they needed, and they got 57.5% of the vote there. Statewide, no surprise, Governor Jay Inslee defeating Republican challenger Lauren Culp and defeating him rather easily, 60% to 40%. The only open statewide race was for lieutenant governor, and it looks like Denny Heck is going to be winning that race and winning it rather handily. The Secretary of State's race has been very closely watched. Kim Wyman, the incumbent looking for a third term, is leading, but again, a lot of votes still yet to be counted there. The only incumbent for a statewide race is Republican Dwayne Davidson for the Washington State Treasurer, and he's currently losing to his challenger. And I mentioned this before, and I want to mention it again because I found this fascinating. In Chelan County, now remember, there are still 10,000 ballots yet to be tabulated in Chelan County. The presidential vote in Chelan County, Donald Trump, 51.25%, Joe Biden, 46.66%. So there were a lot of people in Chelan County who voted for Joe Biden and Lauren Culp, who easily won Chelan County. I find that rather fascinating. All right, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take one more tour around the valley now that the sun is starting to burn out the clouds, and we'll take a look at that weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week, we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
These days, it can be hard to trust the media. What's true, what's fake, and who is behind the message? I'm a freelance journalist and videographer who has spent years studying the media, interviewing people, writing stories, and producing documentary videos. But I was born and raised in Eastern Washington and grew up working on farms and in the fields. Now I'm taking a look at what local, regional, and national news stories mean to us here in North Central Washington. Join me, Dominic Bonney, for Common Sense on NCW Life TV.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master, Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing,
located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family.
Dr. Wayne Latimer's Integrative Chiropractic Clinic and Rehab now offers more services. If you've been injured on the job, in an auto accident, have a sports injury, call today and try his wraparound services. Latimer Chiropractic Clinic has added a physician's assistant and a naturopath to their medical lineup. From needing stress relief from a busy life to looking at core health issues, stop by Latimer's Integrative Chiropractic Clinic on Mission, where they are committed to doing more so you can too.
And we are back at 57 minutes after the hour. We are starting to see the clouds part, at least the sun's starting to burn off the clouds and the fog, and we're starting the warming process. We just hit 40 degrees outside of our studios, and since the clouds are beginning to depart and thin out, well, I thought we'd tour one more time around the Wenatchee Valley because there wasn't a lot we could look at about an hour ago. This is a far cry from what we saw 58 minutes ago when we couldn't see anything. So as you can see from our cross camera, still some low-lying fog and clouds. And as I mentioned before, it is considerably warmer the higher up you go. Blewett Pass is at 50 degrees and we are at 40 on the valley floor. That's why we get the fog. We got cold air trapped on the valley floor, warm air up above it. But it's going to start burning off as we look out over the Wenatchee Valley, which we could not do an hour ago. I think we're going to use the same camera. So camera 2, if I remember correctly, is Badger Mountain, and there is Badger Mountain, and there is, again, the valley is down there somewhere. That doesn't look like it's changed a great deal, but the clouds are a lot less white and a lot more grayish and blue. So we actually are able to see some of the buildings in the Wenatchee side of the river that we couldn't an hour ago from our Badger Mountain location, high above the East Wenatchee Bench. Camera number 3 was Jump Off Ridge. Was that right that we did last time? That's right. It was get rid of that spider web. That is the help me out, Megan. That's right. That's the other heights camera. We call that the lower heights camera. Looking out over the sun again, getting the job done, burning it off. I may have to get a little golf in today. And finally, let's go to Jump Off Ridge, which was our 4th camera, and we should be able to see. There you go. Yeah, you can see the clouds are starting to burn off, and the sun is getting the job done. Real quickly, your forecast: partly cloudy today. 61 with a little bit of light rain on Thursday, also a little wind at times on Thursday. Friday, we head into the weekend with a little bit of light rain and a high of about 54. Lots of bountiful sunshine for everybody. Cold air coming down from Canada over the weekend. It's going to definitely feel like November. That's it for us. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.